Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. The, f- the fact of the matter about Dravids. Tamil is the correct pronunciation of the word Tamil. Tamil is Dravid, not because of any race or caste, but because Tamil becomes Dravida in Sanskrit. It is a custom in Sanskrit that Tha becomes Thra. Thotaka Acharya mentioned earlier becomes Throdaka. Some people overdo this and end up making Deham into Dreham. In Tamil, Ta becomes Tra or Dra, Me becomes Vi. Philologists will give many examples for this conversion of Va into Ma and vice versa. For example, Salgravam has become Saligramam and Mandodari can become Vandodari. Thus, Dravid is Dramid. Letters Ja and La exchanges places with each other and are very close to Da. In Ramanathapuram district, Vazhaipalam becomes Valappalam. The La is the double La, and you would often hear Valappalathil Valukki விழுந்திப் போரே பி கேர்ஃபுல் வாழைப்பழத்தில் வழுக்கி விழுந்திடப் போரே ஜாக்கிரதையா இரு. In all, tha plus me plus j has morphed into dra plus v plus the, that Tamil has become Dravid, which are all quite normal variations as it happens. Since nowadays showing the Tamil connection gives some special happiness, I showed the same in relating Dravida Acharya to Tamil. Sri Shankara Bhagavad Pada himself has used this phrase of Dravida's issue in Saundarya Lahari in saying, Amma, you did give milk to the Tamil child. When I say Tamil is Dravid, do not get carried away with the wrong interpretation that I am talking of Arya Dravida race theory. If we look into the Vedas and Shastras, there is no evidence of the existence of two different races of Arya and Dravida whatsoever. The Britishers, as per their strategy of divide and rule, have created this canard of two different races theory. What is there in Shastras about this? There is no race as Aryan. The word Arya means respectable in Sanskrit. In Gita, Sri Krishna, while telling Arjuna, what is this? You have lost heart like a coward. He uses the word Anaryam like happy and unhappy. The prefix an is a negative. Anaryam is the same as Anaryam, meaning disrespectable. There is no connotation of any race here. In old dramas, the queen addresses the king as Aryaputra. Then she should not be and cannot be Aryaputri if the word is supposed to mean a reference to race. The word was only meant as dear sir or respectable sir as otherwise. All the heroines must have been Dravidaputris to call all the heroes as Aryaputra. Let us say an Iyer girl marries an Iyengar boy. Then, when addressing him, she may say, You son of an Iyengar. When she is herself daughter of an Iyengar, would she say that? When Sita called Rama Aryaputra in Ramayana, if you give the race connotation, then she will become a Dravidian girl. Here also, there was no race or caste being referred, but only meant respected sir. In all my readings, nowhere have I come across either Arya or Dravida to allude to any race or caste or creed. The whole of India was one race, the Indian race. Those living north of the Vindhyas were Gauda, and those living south of Vindhyas were Dravida. The division was topographical and regional and not racial. The entire landmass north of Vindhyas was Gauda Desham and south of it was Dravida Desham. Gauda Desham was regionally divided into 5 parts called Panchagaudas. In the far north, Kashmiris were Saraswats In Punjab and central west were Kanyagubjas. In UP and Bihar were Maithliyas. In Orissa were Utkalas. And finally in Bengal and east of it simply Gaudas. Thus, Saraswatas, Kanyagubjas, Maithilas, Utkalas and Gaudas were Pancha Gaudas. In the south of Vindhyas were Pancha Dravidas, including Gurjaras, maybe Gujars and Gujaratis, Maharashtras, Andhras and Karnatakas, and finally the southernmost were Dravidas or Tamilians. Malayalam is a derivative of Tamil in the recent 10th centuries. There were not two different races, but 10 regional divisions. Gauda and Dravida became the name for the easternmost and southernmost areas. Today, Gaudas has come to mean Bengalis and Dravidas has come to mean Tamilians, though there are Gaudas or Gauds spread all over India. Sri Krishna Chaitanya was a Bengali. The math that has started on his name is known as Gaudiya math. Similarly, Dravidas has come to mean Tamilians. It is funny that it is these two areas caught on to British customs and education were very fast. They provided the English educated clerical cadre for running the country. When one set of people shift residence to another area within the country, it has been the custom to call them by the place name of their origin. In Maharashtra, after their natural names, many are called Telang, which is considered a caste name. It is a fair guess to include that their forefathers must have gone from the Telugu land and settled in Maharashtra. Similarly, many Brahmins in Uttar Pradesh have what is seemingly a caste name such as Dravid and Kannad. Point to note is that they are all simply Brahmins. As per the so-called race theory, Brahmins are not Dravidians or even enemies for Dravidians. But in North India, it is Brahmins who have Dravid and Kannad as surname. It is clear that the surnames stand for the forefathers' place of origin and not their race. As per Tamil pronunciation, rules, customs, Dravid is Tamil. What comes in Sanskrit as half a consonant plus Ra, the Ra drops off Shramana becomes Samana, Pravala becomes Pavala, and Dra becomes Da. In talking about Dravidacharya, I have covered so much ground about philology and race theory. I said that he was an Advaita Siddhanti preceding Sri Shankara Bhagavat Pada. The hunter is King Jiva is Brahman. Sri Shankara Bhagavat Pada and other commentators, while writing the Bhashyam on Santokya Upanishad's 3rd and 4th chapters on Madhu Vidya and Samvarga Vidya, have quoted Dravida Acharya. In this Upanishad is the Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi, meaning you are that Brahmin. Swetaketu's father and guru Uddalaka Aruni repeats this phrase Tattvamasi 9 times. In Tattvamasi, Tat is the Paramatma Brahman. Tvam is you, meaning Jivatma or its personification, Swetaketu. Asi means are. Father is telling the son, you are Brahman. Not that you are going to become Brahman one day in the future. You are that already, not something becoming Brahman. Everything is already Brahman only. Then what is the need for sadhana? To get to know this, if I am already one, and why is that we do not know this, can be the doubt. Had we known this, we would not suffer all this deprivation, anxiety, fear and hate. We would have been the ocean of happiness, encompassing the entire space, calm and quiet as peace personified. Are we not going about without being aware that such a state of peacefulness could even exist? Now, if you tell me that I am that, how to accept this fact? To make us accept the fact of existence, Dravida Acharya has told us of the story of the hunter boy who is a prince. Sri Shankara Bhagavad while commenting on the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 11.1.20, while explaining the mantra on how the entire universe has evolved out of Atma itself, describes how the spider spins out the web from out of itself and the fire throws out the sparks out of itself, has quoted this story by Dravida Acharya without mentioning his name. There is a story like this from someone who knows it all. Atra sampradaya vida agyakyam samprakshate. He says, Anandagiri, who wrote further explanatory notes on Shankara's Bhashyam, has given the name of Dravida Acharya. In the story, did the boy who was thinking of himself to be a hunter change into a prince? Did he transform? Did he convert? No. Even when he was thinking himself to be a Vedan or a hunter, he was still a prince only. He did not know the truth, so he lived the life of a Vedan. There is an appropriate pun on the word Vedan. Vedan means hunter. Vedan also means Veshan, which means someone wearing a garb. The hunter boy, who was always a Rajakumara or a prince, once he realized that he is a Rajakumara, lived as a prince. There was no change and no two persons involved. The change is only in awareness. Initially, he did not know himself. Once realized, he claimed and obtained his rightful place as the king. Like the prince in the garb of a hunter in Vedan Vesham, we the Jiva Atmas are all thinking of ourselves to be son, daughter, father, teacher, engineer, lawyer, and so many other things than the real self. Though our garb changes, what is inside is Paramatma only. Pulled by the senses, we are hunting in this world for this and that elusive prize to be captured. Even when we know this, our own senses will not let us accept the truth. Though he was a prince, he had to train himself in archery and other princely capabilities before he could become the king himself. Similarly, we who are Parabrahmam only start with good attitudes and behavior of karmas acceptable in dharma and progress via the path of bhakti or devotion. Fight the inner enemies through Atma sadhana, win over to Atma Jnana, thereby become the king of Atma Samrajya. Atma Jnani is called the Samrat in Upanishads. Ice and spatikam or crystal are look-alikes. Ice can melt into water, crystal cannot. That is because ice is wearing a garb or vesham. It can and will become the original water given the right circumstances. Brahman frozen into Jiva can revert back to its real self. Ice melts on its own with the change in temperature and we are refusing to melt. Taimanavar has come down to our level and sung on our behalf. கல்லேனும் ஒரு காலத்தில் உருகும் என் கல் நெஞ்சம் உருகவில்லையே. To melt us back to our reality, we need something. As in the story, to make the prince come back to his senses, he needed a minister who, despite the resistance from the boy's side, could pull him back to princehood. What we need is someone who could turn us away from the pull of the senses towards divinity and reality. Is there someone like that available? Yes, he is the Guru, who would pull us back to our real self. That mantri is the Rupakam for the Guru to make us realize our real self. Someone who could tell us the Parama Atma Tattva, make us experience it in practice, make us do the necessary sadhana, and till our balance karma is worked out, stand by us, spending his tapasya in doing so is the Guru. Guru Bhakti, devotion to Guru. If you ask me as to why it is said that Guru is greater than God Himself, devotion to Guru is more important than devotion to God, my answer is as follows. Nobody has seen God, but Guru is the one we could directly see and interact with. He is also a very clean person, having jnanam with an unshakable mind firmly riveted on the reality to whom we can surrender. If we can have the chance to get such a guru, we can get the peace of mind for which we quest for God. That is why it is said, Guru Brahmam Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara. In this shloka, one speciality is that it talks of the oneness of Guru and God. The second speciality is that it talks of the oneness of Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. So, through Guru Vandana, we not only get their blessings but also attain to Abheda Bhava, that is, non differentiating attitude. God has to do many things. He has to create, sustain, and destruct. Guru has no such job. God has an office. Guru does not have one. Instead of troubling someone with too many duties to perform, we can get our job done easily through someone who has no other job. Whatever great qualities are there in God, Guru has them also. He is perfectly clean. He does not bluff. He does not dupe. He has mastered his senses, brimming with love and kindness. We see him directly. We do not see God. So, to be devoted to Guru is considered to be superior to being devoted to God. This does not mean to say that devotion to God is to be forgotten. If to get a Guru is God's blessings, Guru connects us with God. So neither are to be forgotten or ignored. As long as we think of them as apart, you have no problems whatsoever when you have started seeing their oneness. Sri Shankara at the very beginning of Viveka Chudamani says, by God's blessings, a man gets three big opportunities, namely 1. To be born as a human being, 2. To get the urge to know the truth, reality, 3. To get a guru who is a Mahatma. Durlabham trayame vaitat deva anugrahaitukam manushyatvam mumukshatvam Mahapurushasya Samshrayah. The Guru for all people forever is God Himself in the form of Dakshinamurti. It, it is said that Sarva Purva Shamapi Guru Kalena Anavachedat, meaning that as He is not bounded by the factor of time, God is the Guru of all Gurus. If you go back in time as to who is your Guru, is Guru, Guru's Guru, and so on, we will have to end up with God. That is why I said that whosoever is your Guru, we are not to forget God as that Guru. This something can be viewed in a different way too. Not thinking Guru and God as two different entities, if we take that God has come in the form of Guru, then we do not have to be devoted separately to God and Guru. With the idea that Guru and God are one, we can surrender to Him. Then we do not have to assume the responsibility to assess the Guru's worth. Whether that Guru is worth or not, even when he is not very clean or attained to jnana, our surrender is inclusive of our capabilities of assessment, since after all, through the human Guru, we are surrendering to ultimate. Then through that Guru, God sanctions our liberation. That is why in childhood we are told, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. While talking about Vyasa as among the acharyas for Brahma Vidya, the essence of this above shloka is said in a more interesting way as under Achyutar Vadano Brahma Dvibahur Apara Hari Apala Lochano Shambhu Bhagwan Badrinarayanah. Badarayana is another name for Vyasa. He is Achyutar Vadano Brahma, meaning Brahma, though not with four faces, but one Dvi, Bahur Aparo Hari, meaning that he is Vishnu, though not with four hands but one, Apala Lochana, Shambhur, meaning that he is Shambhu, though without the third eye. There is nobody better than Guru. We should have told devotion to him. We should have total devotion to him. It should be true devotion. We should feel that God has come to us in human form. Once we have that feeling, then we do not even need to have separate love for God and Guru. Our love for the Guru will do quite sufficiently. For Vaishnavas, the devotion to Guru is more important. If we commit an error of commission or omission against God, we do not have to go to God and ask for a pardon. It is enough to take up with the Guru and he can sort it out. But if we do something wrong in our dealings with the Guru, God is likely to say, "Sorry, you better go back to your Guru. I cannot intervene." If Guru recommends the Sishya's case, God will accept. But if you antagonize your Guru, no one can help you, says a shloka in Guru Gita. Shive rushte Guru Trata, Guruvo rushte na kashchana. This is the reason why Guru Bhakti is spoken of highly by Shastras. Even if you get not so good a Guru, keeping him as friend, guide, and philosopher, you should continue to be devoted to him and God. By your devotion, we are not doing a favor to Guru or God. It is us who have to benefit from this relationship. What is this benefit? We are full of dirt, inefficient, incapable, unsure, and full of doubts. We are not able to stop our minds from its oscillations. Unless we become complete, peaceful, undisturbed, either become or realize our completeness, we will always remain short of the ultimate. But if we think of the Guru as being full of the qualities that we find wanting in ourselves and be devoted, that is enough. We will imbibe the needed qualities and benefit. We will become that, or the sense of separateness will drop off. That is, we will know our real happy state. Our Shastras say that to know about a reality, we need to have devotion to Guru and devotion to God. The fact that we will get Jnanam by Guru's grace is given in Santokya Upanishad. It says that Acharyavan Purusha Veda, meaning that the man who has a Guru gets to know. It runs like a small story. There was a man from Gandhar, what is called the Kandhar, a semi-desert area in Afghanistan now. If he is taken far away to another country, given a tight bandage around his eyes, with his hands tied to his back, and then if he is left in a forest, what will be his condition? That is our condition now. Total confusion, confounded, that is what it is. Now KTSV adds, in Tamil, when completely bamboozled, they used to say, Kannai katti kaatila vitta pola irukku. I am certain similar expression must be there in another Indian languages too, since the idea has been taken from the Santokya Upanishad and we Indians are imbibed with such wisdom without knowing the origins. Somebody comes to him, unties him, and gives him directions to go to Gandhar. He does not cry or fear anymore, but goes back to Gandhar where he came from. Similarly, by Guru's Upadesha, we can trace our way back to the starting point, says Santokya Upanishad. Sri Shankaracharya, who came to be known as Jagat Guru, sings the praise of his Guru everywhere and every time. What is the use of whatever name and fame that a man can get if he has not tied his mind securely to the feet of his Guru? Then so what? He does not ask, then so what, once but four times in each stanza of the poem Guru Vashtakam, saying Tata Kim, Tata Kim, Tata Kim, Tata Kim. In that small poem of eight stanzas, 4 into 8, 32 times he asks our minds, so then what? In the end, before dropping this moral coil too, he advises Sad Vidwan Upastrupyatam Prati Dinam Tat Paduka Sevyatam Brahmakaksharam Ardhyatam Shruti Shiro Sakyam Samakranyatam, meaning find and adopt a Sat Vidwan, good learned as the Guru. Do daily puja to his feet, from him get Pranava and Upanishad Mahavakya Upadesha. For the Guru who said, Pratidinam Tat Paduka Sevyatam. His Paduka are being venerated with Pada Puja every day till date. What he says here is about the Sannyasa Guru who gives sannyasa. In that ashrama only, Pranavya Upasana, Mahavakya Anusandanam, and search for moksha happens. This is the last ashrama. First is the Brahmacharya ashrama, wherein one has to approach a guru, who is a guru, grihastha, and learn Veda Adhyayana and Veda Karma Anushtana. In between are the grihastha and vanaprastha ashramas. Finally, come to the state of sannyasa, advises the guru. Why Veda Karma in the beginning? Only when one's mind has fully subsided, the Pranava and Mahavakya Upadesha can be effective. With a scattered mind, these Upadeshas cannot be of any use whatsoever. If you sow the seeds on ground which has not been tilled and irrigated, will it sprout? We hear many Upanyasas, lectures on many spiritual subjects, read the Gita and Upanishads with translations, explanations, and commentary in the language we understand. Do we gather any value out of it? Had we gathered any value out of such reading, we should have become calm and quiet and peaceful ourselves first. KTSV adds, we should get over our proclivity to assess others unless it was our business to do so. More importantly, if the eh, if the would-be Sishya ventures to assess the Guru's potential, he will never get a Guru. However, as a touchstone, one of the tests to know whether somebody is a Jnani or not and whether he may be one's future Guru, check this out. The one whose proximity and very presence subsides one's mind and creates an atmosphere of peace, know that such a person is a realized soul. So, such reading and lectures do not give lasting effects due to lack of preparation on our part. Acharya says, do Vedika karmas as required of you without awaiting the results. Instead of expecting results, think of those actions as Ishvara Arpanam, meaning offerings in obeisance to God. Over time, this gives clarity of mind and peace. The mind has to be tilled and irrigated by karma and bhakti, respectively, with devotion to God and Guru. In the presence of such noble souls, whether we hear them or hear someone else saying something, it gets deeply into our minds. This is because of the unidirectional attention that evolves in their sanidhyam or presence. This does not happen in the office or club or library. That is why it is said that mantras and upadeshas should be got through a guru. Our lack of awareness is very deep and thick. So, if we go to that place where the thickness of our ajnana will lessen, jnana can and will enter. Thus, having done Adhyayana and learnt the Vedas from the Guru in Brahmacharya ashrama, having done one's duties as meticulously as possible without being too concerned about the apparent results of such karma in Grihastha ashrama, and having refined oneself physically, mentally, and spiritually in Vanaprastha ashrama, when we hear the Pranava and Mahavakya Upadesha from the Sannyasa ashrama guru, Jiva attains to totality of jnana. For the Jiva to find his oneness with Paramatma from the beginning to the end, it is Guru who is the friend, guide, and philosopher. That is the reason why Guru Bhakti is spoken so highly of everywhere. Om Shri Mahaperiva Sharanam.